Servus Freunde, mein Name ist Jimmy Cage.
Okay, Jimmy, you want it? You got it!
Servus Freunde, my name is Jimmy Cage.
And I'm Deniz, the Buddymeister.
We have reviewed almost 500 indie movies on the channel, and once a month we let all of our awesome patrons on patreon.com/thejimmycage and our supporting members here on YouTube decide what we watch next, because they can take part in a poll. The next poll is already up, and it includes 3 movies from 2023. 3 movies that we have missed last year. The options are Gigatanda XX, Neru, and OMG2. Yeah, today we are talking about the film that won the last poll, which is the 1992 Hindi language coming-of-age sports movie Jeeta Wohi Sikandar. It's the second film directed by Mansoor Khan, who also came up with the story and co-wrote it with his father Nazir Hussain, who also produced it. The story itself seems to be inspired by the 1979 American film Breaking Away, but apparently Mansoor Khan said that he didn't know about that film before.
Have you seen Breaking Away?
I haven't seen it.
I have.
You have?
Yes,
okay, then we
I
can
have.
talk about it. That's awesome.
But it's
Great.
been some time. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's great. And like Mansoor Khan's first film, which was Kayamat Se Kayamat Tak, which revitalized the Hindi cinema, at least the mainstream Hindi cinema, this one also stars Aamir Khan, who, of course, is the cousin of director Mansoor Khan. Buddymeister, who is also in the movie, and what is the story all about?
Yeah, the movie's also starring Ayesha Julka, Deepak Tijori, Mamik Singh, Pooja Bedi, and Kulbhushan Kharbanda. Kulbhushan Kharbanda, actually, he plays the father.
Yeah.
He's an actor that we've seen
Yeah.
many times. He was in Nishant, Gayal, Monsoon Wedding, Lagan, Water, Joda Akbar, Manikarnika.
Yeah. He looked very familiar.
Yeah, he looked very familiar, and I like him very much, actually.
Yeah.
So the movie, like you said, is based or inspired on Breaking Away. But yeah, well, let's talk about what this movie is about. Oh, it's also called JJWS.
Yes.
In short, makes it easier, but
Yeah.
not yeah. JJWS follows the fortunes of brothers Sanjay Lal and Ratan Lal Sharma, 2 working-class lads who live in the scenic college town of Dehradun. While Ratan is a devoted student and hard worker, Sanjay is a lazy prankster, always getting into trouble. Intense rivalry exists between the 3 major public schools in the area, and following Ratan's defeat in a cycle race, this rivalry becomes a question of life and death, actually. Yeah. That's it. That's the story.
Yeah. No word about the love interest? No.
Yeah, well, there's also, I didn't know, there's a lot going on in this movie, but there also, of course, another thing that lets this rivalry, like, going into extremes is that there are different, like, love stories and love dynamics between the characters that,
Yeah. So, I have to say, I really liked the movie a lot. Even maybe loved it until I liked it fine in the end. So
Okay.
I was on a journey with this movie.
Okay.
And I think with this one, we should definitely talk about spoilers.
Yeah.
Probably later. I mean, it's more than 30 years old at this point. I guess most people have seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you like it too?
Yeah, I like it too.
Nice.
Yeah, I like it too. I mean, it's too long, and it's like treading water for quite some time. But this whole college-themed story, this self-contained setting with this marketplace in the middle, and also the characters and this like good versus evil structure. I thought it was kind of nice. It was pretty entertaining. I liked it, yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely an entertaining movie.
Yeah.
I loved the whole introduction part. It was such a classic film world. We are somewhere in a remote place, countryside, where we have these different elite colleges. And of course, one college for the common people, for the working class people. And it was such a great setup for an inspiring sports drama or action drama or action comedy, romantic drama, I don't know. And like you said, the location with the marketplace, it was such great. It was just like 3 or 4 houses.
Yeah, and there's everything you need is just there. There's the ice cream corner and the cafe and the house where Sanjay lives, and there's like a chemist and
a pharmacy.
A pharmacy. It's
everything you need.
It's great.
It's like the lives of all of these characters revolve around that place.
Yeah.
It's like the equivalent to maybe like 80s or 90s shopping malls in American movies. Like the adolescents, they just run into each other at that place and I don't know, butting heads.
Yeah, just slacking around.
Exactly. And the first 15 minutes introduces us to that place. It introduces us to almost all of the characters, not to one woman who is introduced later, but apart from her, to all of the characters.
Yeah.
We learn about the school competition.
Cycle race. Yeah,
the cycle race.
Is like the intro to this movie.
Yeah, we learn about the relationships between these people, the family dynamic, the family history, about the girl next door who is in love with our protagonist. We learn all of that in the first 15 minutes. And then after that first cycle race, it's bam, freeze frame. We get the title, we get the opening credits. And I'm just a sucker for stuff like that. For, I don't know, when they take their time with showing us the title. And it was also exactly the same like in the previous film, Kayamatak. It was also like 20 minutes, no title. Very different vibe, because that movie was very brutal in the beginning and also later on. And this one was far more loose and lighthearted, I think. And then for about 2 hours, the movie is pretty loose but also pretty damn entertaining.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Like you said, there's a lot there, like brawls, pranks, car chases, rivalries, a little bit of romance, some lovely song and dance sequences.
Boy and girl banter. Yeah.
So all of that stuff, comedic reliefs with the two friends, or especially that one friend, and and I mean, we can talk about specific scenes, because I think the movie has a lot of wonderful scenes. Like at the 30-minute mark, we get this big fight scene.
Yeah, where Sanjay's throwing eggs and all this stuff at the cafe.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
everybody's just destroying everything.
Yeah, they're destroying everything, and we get tequila. The song is playing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The movie has such a nostalgic retro vibe.
Yeah, but it's also like heavily influenced by Western culture with the music and like the way they like dance the rockabilly style and the clothes. It's very, very Westernish. Yeah.
Also, especially there's a song after the interval. We have this big dance competition at the school, which was a really fun sequence because we get different songs and different musical numbers. And one of the lines in one of the songs is, my name is Fonseca. Yeah. The translation. And I'm like almost 100% sure that that's a reference to the Fonz from Happy Days.
Happy Days,
Because the villain is also looking very much like the Fonz. And it was just fun.
And I also thought that they have like this school system. Yeah, like you said, the Rajput is like the highest, the evil coup of the school that almost wins
like
everything.
With,
like Slytherin. And we have Rajput and we have Xavier, Lawrence, all these like nice schools, and then we have the model school. Yeah. And model school is like they even sing about scumbags from model school. They can't win anything. Yeah.
And even in their song at the dance competition, they sing about stuff like
and I was wondering if this movie it treats this school system and the way that people like get to know each other almost like a caste system. In this movie,
definitely.
And it's like probably like more easily digestible for an audience to make this in a high school themed
college show, I think.
Story, college-themed story. And it is also nice with this competition that like the model school has like these, we're living on the streets, but we will, sometimes we will, someday we will regain the victory. And the song of the Rajput school, where Shekhar Malhotra, the evil guys, is like this Western influenced high school song, which is like, they win this thing, but it's like this total, obviously this display of like, who's better and who's worse in this society.
Yeah, definitely. And the cycle race, they are also holding up like signs, and on one sign the translation was like, "We can do good too." Or
we can also be good people. And
it's a little bit pathetic.
Man.
But talking about the music for a second. I think when it comes to the music, the greatest song and dance sequence, at least for me, is certainly the one before the interval. That's the beautiful, dreamlike, romantic Pela Nasha.
Yeah, I think that's also like the biggest hit of this.
Yeah, that was the biggest
romantic blast.
Sung, of course, by Udit Narayan and Shadana Sargam. This one we also reacted to a few weeks ago. Don't you remember?
Yeah.
We reacted to it. We said it was like one of the first Hindi sequences that was shot completely in slow motion. It was actually the fourth one, I think. You totally forgot.
No. The thing is, when I heard this song in the movie, I thought, I know this song.
It's also playing at the opening credits, like.
And then I thought to myself, do I know this song from like an American movie or something? Because this melody is so much like 80s romantic movie from Hollywood. Or like, is it the other way around? Did Hollywood copy this thing? I couldn't find out. This is apparently an original Hindi song.
Yeah,
and it's an awesome song.
Definitely.
Yeah, and now that you say it, I remember that you watched it.
The soundtrack, by the way, was composed by the duo Jatin Lalit.
Yeah,
and I mean, you totally forgot it, but now that I have seen it in the context of the movie, it was a very different experience, because when we watched it the first time, I thought, of course, they were in love with each other. And now that now with the movie, it's of course more...
It's nice juxtaposition to see that she loves him, but he loves someone else.
Yeah, and she
like
thinks...
She
thinks it's that he also loves her, but it's unfortunately not the case, and it's also kind of tragic. But really, really lovely song. But this also brings me maybe to the criticism, or do you want to add something?
I want to add another song that I really liked, because it like came. I mean, I knew it was coming, but it still came out of nowhere. It was this Diwali song at the beginning, where the woman talk about not like doing everything the man say, and then she throws him like in the sand. Anjali throws Sanjay in the sand, and then they just start dancing and singing. The song is Shehar Ki Parion Ke Piche, and it's one of those songs that you just have to love, because it just starts. It starts in the situation, and it has this classic women against men trope. But it's really nice.
It's a really nice song.
I like that one really much.
Yeah. I also like the, how to say it, maybe the sports song, the inspiring, motivating, it pumps you up. I like that song. I don't know the name, but that was quite great. But the problems I had with this movie, now, they weren't big problems. But they definitely like held the movie back for me. I think the movie could have been much better. It had a lot of potential. So, first of all, I thought the way Sanju finally also falls in love with Anjali was kind of rushed and a little bit disappointing. I mean, she looks out for him throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, she's always there for him.
Yeah, and then he has, he messes up because he pretends he's someone else with the girl he
Devika
has a crush on. And he messes up. That's kind of the liar revealed trope that's in a lot of movies. And then he's down on his luck, and she's of course there for him. He gets kicked out of the house, and then he just tells her like, the last few days I recognized, or I noticed that I'm also in love with you, and that's it.
When she's helping him train.
And I thought that's a little bit too cheap. I thought she deserved more. It was like, that's the romantic story resolved. That's it. It was a little bit cheap. And I also thought the training montage should have been longer.
Probably. I mean, it's I kind of knew that it would like come to this, that he would be the one who takes Ratan Lal's place and do the cycle race. But yeah, you're probably right. The training montage itself is nice.
Is nice, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, but this also brings me to my biggest problem with the movie.
Oh, now I'm excited.
Yeah. So this is a movie where from the get-go you have an idea where things will go. You watch it like for 20 minutes, you see, it's the brother who is the athlete, who is good at sports, and you think, well, Aamir Khan is our lead. It will probably be Aamir Khan who, spoiler alert, finally will win the race, who will change. It's a coming-of-age movie, so he will come of age and change for the better. I mean, it's an old school movie. So being good at sports and competition, that's like, all positive in this movie. There's no criticism to it. They don't question it. But after like 20 minutes or even earlier, I thought probably the brother is gonna die or will have some horrible accident. And then the younger brother has to take his place. And now that's basically what happens. I'm thankful that the brother doesn't die, because then I would have been like, oh, come on, really? This is such a happy-go-lucky movie. Why is he going to die? He's only in a coma and then injured, and he can't take part in the race. And maybe this is also where where I'm coming from. I know movies that are structured, that are built differently. And probably in an American movie, the big tragic event, what's happening to the older brother, it would happen way sooner. Like maybe after 30 minutes, maybe halfway through the movie. But in an Indian movie like this happens at like 2 hours into the movie. And the problem for me personally, at that point, I really like the older brother. And I think cycling, that's his thing. He's good at that. He can make his father proud. It's his thing. And now the movie takes it away from him and gives it to the younger brother, who honestly has no interest in cycling at all up until that point. He has no interest in it.
He just can be the best in anything if he wants to.
It's I think it's taking away from the Ratan character.
Definitely,
And I have my suggestion. I watched the movie and I thought, why didn't they do this and this and this would have been better? So the way I would have liked it more, if this would be like wished the movie to be the way you would like it to be. Like the thing happens to the brother, he's in a coma. But how about the younger brother recognizes how important the family is, how important cycling is for the family history, for the father, for the underdog story that they kick the rich people's asses. And how about he helps his brother come back on his feet and they train together and they decide, hey, let's do the race together because there are teams in the race. It's not just singular guys racing against each other. It's teams. And how about the brothers train together with Anjali and they race together? And for me personally, I would have liked if the older brother still wins the race and maybe Aamir Khan's character gets in second or maybe even third, because I also thought that what's the name of the villain?
Shekhar Malhotra.
Shekhar, I thought there were glimpses of good in him. There were moments, especially when the accident happens, when Ratan is falling down a cliff, where he's so panicked, and I thought he's not just panicked because of the potential punishment they might get, but also because he wanted to beat him up, but he didn't want to kill him. And I thought maybe he will have a change of heart, and maybe they can not become friends, but become like accept that they are equals. But then
just as a competition, to see it as a normal competition between two people who want to see who's the best.
And maybe they can respect each other at the end. But then the movie's like more generic, like, no, he's still the villain. And he says, you don't say anything.
But that's also something that I thought when like thinking of Aamir Khan's character is like, and either they could have done it like that way, that he's like supporting his brother, or like he could help the school and the family by just doing something that he's really good in. And that could, of course, be supporting others, but it could be something else. And the first thing when the dance competition came up, and he was like the actor on, I thought that's maybe his backstory, that he's like, and that this is again something that people just don't really look up to because dancing and acting is just a stupid thing.
True.
Sports is I thought maybe they do something like that, but the dance competition also came out of nowhere.
They never trained rehearsed.
Also, like vanished. Also, like
it was the post-interval.
But
sequence.
The thing is that the movie. Also, that's what you just said with Shekhar Malhotra being the villain. Also, like, it changes directions a little bit towards the end because the movie is like rather easy and a loose story that's fun, and it gets more serious with time. And like how the villains behave in the end, they kick people off their bikes and like throw people and they get hurt. That's kind of strange when you like compare it to the beginning of the movie, where I just thought, okay, they are just better. They are just better. But they're good. They're just good at sports, and they're not like unfair. But later they just almost kill somebody, and then they're like, they do it on purpose. They do it on purpose, and that's kind of strange. I mean, it does work because it's an entertainer. But it's a little bit here and there, but it could have been more focused in that entertaining way.
And also with my idea of the two brothers attending the race, then you can have a scene. There's a fight scene during the race. Like maybe one brother has to hold them back and the other brother has to still win the race. You could, I don't know, inject more drama, more power.
A part of me actually wished that the finale just would have been a normal cycle race, because this moment when they step off the bikes and just punch each other in the on the cliffs is, I don't know, it kind of disrupted the energy and the flow of the movie.
And it's also a little bit, I mean, it's an old school movie, but it's also like they are off the race for like 10 minutes fighting each other, and then they are back and they, I don't know,
they get back to first and second
place. They go back
to
first because these are just the best.
The others, they just they can't do anything. But but I want to say there's something else, because you said like that the thing with Ratan only happens after 2 hours, and that you liked him very much. I also liked Ratan very much, and I also liked the actor who played him was who was
the
it?
Name
it was Mamik Singh. It's Mamik Singh,
Yes.
I think all the characters work really fine in this movie. They're like, of course, they're not like fleshed out, very profound, but they work good enough for this story. I mean, there's a dynamic between the father and the son. There's a dynamic between the brothers. We also get a flashback in the end that's really lovely. And also, of course, Shekhar Malhotra as villain works really nice. And all this stuff works really good. I think Devika, the woman who comes in as love interest, isn't working that well, because
There's also not that much chemistry between them.
That was also something. But that fits, of course, the story with the chemistry. But
certainly.
One last thing, because I've seen Breaking Away. And before we forget about that, and Breaking Away, actually, I'm kind of surprised that Mansoor Khan says he hasn't seen the movie, because there are so many parallels. I can't believe it.
I've read it.
Of course, like there's this thing with the different high schools or colleges that like have beef, and the cycling, of course. But Breaking Away has something that this movie really lacked for me, and that is like this true coming-of-age vibe. Because this movie, of course, Sanjay has to learn about life, he has to grow up. But I think the coming-of-age vibe really isn't there, because it's more about the action and the fun and the cycling. And Breaking Away has this, because it's more like a story about four friends who are like at the brink of getting into life, and cycling, of course, is a very important part of that. And this high school thing also, but it's really more about the characters and how they philosophize about life. And
more like Three Idiots.
But it had more of the flavor that you really think of. That could have been me. And it's not like as aloof as this one, where you think, okay, is this a real world here, or is this just fun?
I like that it's a fun. I get what you mean. I like that this is a fun.
I like it too, but it's not like as like down to earth.
Totally. Maybe another wish of mine would have been like, I totally get these movies from 1992 and a different mentality, but like at the end, or before the end, that maybe the father also learns a thing, that maybe he accepts that winning this race isn't maybe the most important thing in the universe, and second place doesn't count at all.
Yeah.
And maybe there would have been also a little bit of that in there. And then they could still, of course, win the race, and then everybody's happy. But this is old school mentality. Winning in sports is like the most important thing. And if Shika maybe has a change of heart, he can kick his coach, the bald guy who's super mean, and then maybe something like that. But this was like down to no, it was all about Sanju, it was all about Aamir Khan. It was just a little bit too much for me. And
no
I think,
real surprises, say like that. Yeah,
and it was just Aamir Khan who has to save the day. And not that I completely disliked that, I enjoyed it fine. But I thought they just sacrificed a lot of emotions and growth and catharsis. But overall, a really fun movie.
Definitely. Absolutely, yeah.
So, what would you say in German?
JJWS ist ein unterhaltsamer, cooler Action-Sport-College-Film, der für mich zwar wenig Coming-of-Age-Vibe hat, mit seinen prägnanten Charakteren und einem tollen Setting, aber trotzdem total einnehmend und liebenswürdig ist.
Nice. Jeeta Wohi Sikandar ist herrlich, nostalgischer, leichtfüßiger Coming-of-Age-Spaß, der mich fast durchweg super unterhalten hat. Wäre da nicht das meiner Meinung nach etwas unverdiente und den Charakteren gegenüber nicht wirklich faire Ende. But I still give Jeeta Wohi Sikandar 7 out of 10. It's more like 7.3, but I don't do that.
For me, it's also 7 out of 10. It's more like 7.4, but I don't do that either.
Nice.
Jimmy, long trivia.
Okay.
But interesting.
Oh, I hope so.
Did you know that the production of JJSW was quite tumultuous? The weather conditions in the regions were tough, the road conditions in certain places very bad, and the casting became the biggest problem. After they shot about 80% of the movie in 2 months, including the climax, they replaced actress Karishma Pahuja, who played Devika, with Pooja Bedi. And it started all over again. But before they really started, Girija Shettar, who originally played Anjali, was replaced with Ayush Julka, and Milind Soman, who played Shekhar Malhotra, was replaced with Deepak Tijori.
Interesting.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. I think Mansoor Khan called Aamir Khan and said, this thing with Karishma Pahuja as Devika, just not working.
Okay.
And he was already in another place. They filmed everything, and it was back in Mumbai or something, and they called him, what? But now do this whole thing again? Yeah, but it's just not working. And then he did it all over again. And he said how difficult it is to get back into a movie that you already finished, almost finished, and you think, now I have to get back into this character.
Yeah.
But I guess it happens more often than we think. Yeah,
it worked out. It became a big hit.
Yeah,
it won 2 Filmfare Awards, I think. Something like that.
Yeah,
maybe more. Yeah. And it's a beloved classic nowadays. Yeah, you can find us, support us on Patreon/The Jimmy Cage. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like.
And make sure you hit that bell for all we have to tell.